record on this computer. All right, we are starting our recording. I'm going to share my screen again. And presentation mode. Here we go. All righty, y'all. Welcome to our first team call of 2017. I could not possibly be more excited to be here with you because of so many reasons. Number one, you guys are 100% my heart. I have loved building this team for the past 2 years and seeing just the incredible people that it has connected me with, and just also seeing how it has transformed my life. You know, building this team and building this business and really investing in other people has completely turned my life around. And in a huge way, that has been because I have been able to identify my vision, my motivation, and my purpose through coaching and through this coaching opportunity. So I'm super excited to pour into you guys tonight and just share a little bit about what I have learned along the way. And hopefully this will help you in some way, shape, or form. Alrighty. So motivation or lack thereof. Let's start by defining motivation. So often I hear coaches say, you know, I'm not feeling motivated to work out. I just don't want to send my invites. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm not motivated. I'm feeling lazy. Well, motivation, by the dictionary's definition, is the reason or reasons that one has for acting in a particular way. So this month, I had the opportunity to work with a push coach, Josh Coates, who said something and defined what motivation was for me in such a profound way that I felt like I couldn't share that. I couldn't keep that to myself. So what he says motivation comes from is two things: vision and mission. And there is a difference between the two. So what is vision? Vision is what you want the world to look like, and this is a personal one. So your personal world, what you want things to look like in your life. Mission is different because that pertains to the change you want to make in the world. So one is personal and one is more on a global scale. How do you want to leave an impact? How do you want to make a difference in the world? Motivation will never be an issue if you're clear on these two things. So what I'm going to go ahead and ask you to do is go ahead and pull out a sheet of paper. Yep, because we're getting right to work, people. Go ahead and pull out a sheet of paper, because what I want to do tonight is to define for you what your vision and what your mission is for your life. Alrighty, so there are some very specific questions that you can be asking yourself in order to define your vision. And just so you know, as we go through this exercise, I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of time in between so that you can answer these questions for yourself, because I want you to take this seriously. If you invest in this, if you really define what your vision is for your life, guys, and what your mission is for your life, your business is going to change. And by the way, this doesn't have to be just business related. This can be 100% related to anything that you are pursuing in your life. All right, so the first question: if you could remove all barriers, what would your life look like? What would you do? Where would you go? What would it feel like? So often, I feel like what stifles our growth is the fact that we dream too small, okay? I get it. It's scary to think big because there's a huge part of us that doesn't believe we can actually achieve that. And it is okay to feel that way, by the way. It is okay to feel scared about the possibility of not achieving it, because the bottom line is that, oh gosh, he said it so beautifully. I'm going to look at this. Consistency breeds confidence. And this is something my voice teacher said in those words verbatim to me all through my 4 years of college. Consistency breeds confidence. You may not feel confident in what you are doing right now, in the belief that these big goals and these big dreams can come to fruition right now, because you haven't been consistent enough yet to develop the confidence to see those things coming to life. But I promise you guys, if you stay consistent in what you are doing and the vital behaviors that you are supposed to be doing every single day, you are going to start to build that confidence, and you are going to be boldly setting these goals and these visions for your life without worry of what barriers could be in the way, because those things are going to start becoming your realities. So I'm going to go ahead and just give you guys another minute or so to answer that question. And if you happen to finish, then you can go ahead and just jump into the next one. Alrighty, next question. What are a few things you've always wanted, but have thought to yourself, I don't need those things, or that's too extravagant? We all have people in our lives, like it or not, we all have people in our lives who like to tell us that it's not acceptable to showcase that we have too much. Or, I mean, if you come from me, a Christian background, part of living a Christian lifestyle is being humble and, operating more out of what you need than what you want. So, you probably have people around you who have placed judgment on you. So I want you to put those things aside. I want you to put those judgments aside. And I want you to ask yourself honestly, what are a few things you've always wanted, but you've thought to yourself, I don't need those things, or that's too extravagant, either by your own opinion or by the other opinions that people have placed upon you? Something that Josh said when he was doing this exercise with us that really hit home for me, and I quoted this for him. I don't have to live according to what others think. The people that matter in your life will always be inspired by your success. Those who are offended by it don't really matter. I was like, that is amazing. Because it's so true. Those people who see you succeeding and are threatened by that, those are not your real friends, guys. Those are not the people that really matter the most, because the ones who see you thriving and succeeding and love you and are so proud of you in spite of that, those are the people that you want around you. All right, question 3. What would it feel like every single day to wake up with everything you mentioned in 1 and 2? I mean, if you actually just close your eyes for a second and think about what it would feel like to actually have these big things that you are saying you want in your life, my gosh, like, I don't even know. That makes my heart race faster, because I think there are so many things that I personally have wanted for so long that the idea of actually having those, like, is amazing and scary, and it would be amazing. So I hope you guys are writing these things down. Okay, moving on. Oh, no, back. Sorry. There we go. Okay, question 4. Why not you? If someone is going to make the money, build the dream house, take the vacation, pay off the debt, why shouldn't it be you, and why shouldn't it be your family? Guys, there are people out there who are going to do it whether or not you choose to. So again, if these people are going to literally make their dreams happen, if these people are going to get into the Million Club, and these people are going to retire their parents, and these people are going to get out of medical debt, these people are going to pay for their child's college tuition in cash, paid in full. If those things are coming to fruition for other people, and those things are going to continue to come to fruition for other people, why can't it be you? And more importantly, why can't it be the people that you care the most about? I understand that so many of us struggle with actually feeling like we are worthy of having these things. That is a very real issue. We struggle with our sense of worth. So I want you, if you are one of those people, to lean into the second part of this question, because I don't believe that if you are setting goals like I have to retire the two people who literally have given everything to watch me achieve my dreams, if I look at this picture, there is no way, no part of my heart that could ever believe, even if I believed and it was true that I wasn't worth it, there is no part of me that believes that my parents, that my family isn't worth every ounce of effort I am going to invest in this vision. So that brings me to the fifth question. I want you to write down the voices that have tried to talk you out of these things before. What have those things sounded like to you? What have those negative limiting beliefs been for you? And how are you going to use these things, number 1 through 4, to answer and respond to these voices? Alrighty, guys. So then we move to the second part of this exercise. Now we are shifting out of a personal focus into a more worldly focus, okay? This is more on the impact you want to make in the world. So let's define our mission. We start by doing this, asking the first question. When you look at the world, what gives you pain and makes you want to fight for change? Gosh, there's so much that you could be writing down right now, considering the times that we are in. I know a lot of people are sensitive to the things that are going on right now. But think about your passions. Think about the difference that you want to make. Think about that. Maybe not only in a health and fitness scope, but in a business scope, in a personal scope. Give you a little more time. Alrighty, guys, moving on to question 2. What have you experienced or overcome in your own life that you want to pass on to the world? What hardships have you gone through? What have you had to endure and overcome? And what would passing that on to the world do? What is it that you want to say? You have a voice. What is it that you want people to know? How do you want to inspire? All right, moving on to question 3. If you could sum up the difference that you want to make in the world in 3 words, what would those 3 words be? And guys, just like your why, these 3 words, they're constantly changing. So, someone may say a word like, for me, a huge word in my mission statement for myself is empower. The idea of empowering someone. Someone may say the word empower, and that might really resonate with you. So that can become one of your words. Someone can say the word legacy. If that really rings true to you, write it down. If someone says the word, I don't know, inspire, and that rings true to you, write it down. as you kind of continue to refine what your mission is for yourself, those things will become more clear. All right, and we go to question 4. How do 1 through 3 come together to paint a picture? Can you put this into one sentence? So you may not be able to do this right this second, but I promise you there's going to be homework. Alrighty. So once we have our motivation, which is made up by our vision and our mission, you know, having a clear view on what those two things are. Again, you know, going back to this initial idea that motivation comes from being super solid on those two things. It's because when you're so solid on those things, no one is going to tell me after they've gone through these exercises, no one is going to tell me that those visions, that those missions are unimportant enough that they're not willing to put an hour of work into their business a day. Not a single person would be willing to say that. So once we have our motivation and we are willing to dream, typically what tends to happen is that fear starts to step in and all of these limiting beliefs come in and freak you out. And you start to shy away and you start to get super worried and concerned that maybe these things are not going to happen. So I'm not sure if any of you guys were on the Elizabeth Gilbert call, the Success Club call, if you qualified in December, but she talks a lot about fear in that call. And she talks a lot about that in her book, Big Magic, which I'm currently reading. And one of the things she talks about is how fear at some point in all of our lives has saved us, has protected us, has kept us from making bad decisions in various circumstances. And because of those experiences, we have come to trust fear. And we have come to, in so many circumstances, allow our fear to rule over our creativity, over our curiosity. So what I want you guys to know is that fear isn't safe. Just because it is there does not mean that it is there trying to protect you in a situation that you actually need to be protected from. Fear is just us having an illusion that we can always keep everything safe. We dilute ourselves into believing that we are in control of everything. Wrong. We are not in control over anything. The only thing we have control over is where we put our focus. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later. Fear doesn't like any landscape that it doesn't know how the story will end. So guys, you need to prepare yourself. I want you to get your armor on. I want you to know that as you go into this next year, especially with coaching, but you know, if you're an actor on this call, with your acting, with whatever it is, whatever passions you are pursuing, we don't know the rest of the story. So fear is always going to be in the back seat with us. Fear is always going to be riding alongside us because it's there to try to protect. That's fear's instinct, right? But we don't always need it. And we need to understand that it's going to be there no matter what because it's afraid of the ending of the story. But we still need to be willing to dive in anyway. So either you realize, here's the beauty of diving in, either you realize that the fire that is fear is going to incinerate you and you'll be reborn because that's what we do, right? We are human beings, we're resilient, we will come back. Or you'll realize that it is nice and warm and not so dang scary. And this is, again, you know, consistency breeds confidence. I can remember when I was starting my coaching journey, and like feeling super hesitant and worried about reaching out to people. Like I used to get like knots in my stomach before I sent a message. And I started challenging myself, being like, just send it anyway. You know, I had an issue with like fitness instructors. I had it in my head that just like freaked me out, sending a message to a fitness instructor. And I don't know why, because I am a fitness instructor. So I just remember that. But you know what? When I I kept forcing myself to do the activity, what I realized is this is not the worst thing in the world. I'm not dead. I'm still standing here and I'm on the other side of it. And the more I did it, the less scary it became. So here's the thing with coaching. Most people are afraid to do this because they're afraid of the work and the possible failure that comes along with it. Well, my best advice is to practice acceptance, because newsflash, you are going to fail a lot. And if you want to succeed, it will take hard work. Okay? Hard work, people. There is no way around it. Discipline is not enough. We all start day one with the same level of self-commitment. Okay? We all wake up with the intention of having a productive day. We all wake up and we can set these goals for ourselves. So I'm going to do my workout. I'm going to send my invites. I'm going to get this and this and this done. But here's what happens. When you hit the moment of shame where things don't necessarily go according to your plan, or you fall short of your goal, that is where most people say, I quit. That is where they throw in the towel and they decide, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm out. I'm quitting. This is not for me. The people who are able to pick themselves up again and forgive themselves for the shameful thing that they just put them through, which, by the way, often is just a result of you expecting way too much of yourself. Those are the people that go on to succeed in this because they're willing to get back up. It is not about how many times you fall down. It is about how many times you choose to get back up, and that is for life. That is for life. Alrighty. Newsflash, you will need to make sacrifices along the way. If you have not heard this from me yet, welcome to my team. I am happy to talk to you about this. You are going to need to make sacrifices. That is a given, guys. With anything in your life, if it matters to you, you need to make time for it. So again, I'm going to reference that Elizabeth Gilbert call. There was a story that she talked about, a conversation that was the most profound conversation she says she's ever had in her life. And I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about that story and how it goes. It goes something like this. She was complaining to an older woman about how she had no time to do her writing. By the way, this is the author of Eat, Pray, Love, Big Magic, like I said. Super well-known, successful author. But as a younger adult, she was saying, man, I just can't ever find the time to write. I can't ever find the time that I need in order to feed my creativity. And the woman says, what are you willing to give up in order to have the life you're pretending to want? And Elizabeth talks about how, like, that word pretending, it was like such an assault on her ego, because these are things that she fully in her heart believed that she wanted, right? So she kind of says, well, what do you mean pretending, the things I'm pretending to want? And the woman says to her, well, what's your favorite TV show? And she goes, well, The Sopranos. And the woman goes, not anymore. It's not. You're canceling your subscription to cable TV. And she's like, what? She kind of like freaks out. And the woman goes, what's your favorite magazine? And she goes, whatever it was. Not anymore. It's not, and Elizabeth's like, okay, I'm tired of this conversation. I get where it's going. And the woman basically just says, I've listened to you talk about where you're going with your friends this weekend. You're not going with your friends. You're going to stay home and you're going to write because you're talking about wanting a life as a writer, and you're giving up the time that you have to do that, to these meaningful things. You're giving up that time to invest in someone else's story. You're just not willing to invest the time in writing your own. And she goes, okay, I'm starting to kind of understand what you're talking about. In order to have the life that I want, I have to give up doing things that I don't want to do. And the woman goes, no, honey, It's so much worse than that. You're going to have to give up things you do want to do. So I don't know about you guys, but that to me was like, man, I felt like I was being called out watching this because I like to invest in my TV time. I can tell you that when I first started building my business, TV was the first thing that went, and I basically didn't watch TV for like 4 to 5 months because I just spent all of my spare time building my business. But you know, as I've gotten more comfortable into routine, I've started to implement my TV time again and find my way with that again. And really, I'm realizing that maybe I'm taking a little bit more time away from my goals and my business and my creativity, even as an actor. Because I'm choosing to invest in that stuff as opposed to working toward my goals. So I'm just going to say, hey, accept it now. If you are wanting to build a successful business as a coach or doing whatever you're going to do, you will need to make sacrifices along the way. All right, another thing to accept. Crap sandwiches, they're a real thing. I loved when she talked about this because when you choose your crap sandwich, you're doing what you love, which makes it easier to enjoy. So many of you guys are probably like, what the heck are you talking about? What is a crap sandwich? Let me break it down for you. Super, super simple. All right, I'm an actor, right? So crap sandwich for me, acting is what I love to do. That is a choice that I have made. I want to be on Broadway with my whole heart, okay? The crap sandwich that comes along with that is the fact that I have to go and audition and hear no, you're not the right fit. This wasn't up to par. This wasn't good enough. I have to hear that over and over and over and over again. That is the crap sandwich that comes along with my dream. If your dream is to be a mom, you want a kid, obviously. Hi, babe. Hi. If your dream is to be a mom, okay, or a parent, and that is something you want with your whole heart, guess what your crap sandwich is? The fact that you get to deal with puking babies and changing diapers and, you know, all of the stuff that comes along with motherhood and parenthood, right? So same thing with coaching, guys. This is a choice we make because, dang, it is powerful to be able to have that, that ability to connect with other people and make a lasting, profound difference in someone else's life. That is a powerful thing. But along with that can come judgment, can come, you know, hurt from fellow coaches, you know, other people's opinions. Along with that comes rejection and hearing no's, you know. But the bottom line is that when it's the crap sandwich you choose, you are doing what you love. And that makes this easier to endure. All right, purpose. In my opinion, it's through your vision and your mission that you find your purpose. All right, you were placed on this earth. Hear me when I say this. Hear me when I say this. You were placed on this earth for a very specific reason. You were given unique gifts and talents that no one else possesses in the exact way that you do. Someone needs you and someone needs your story. And when you cower behind fear, you deprive the world of your voice and your talents. You have the ability to help someone change their life, to help them find their worth. You have tools to empower other people with healthier living. You have an opportunity that can completely change someone's financial story. And you already have everything inside of you that you need to be able to do this. This picture on the left here, she's on the call. But if you don't know, this is my success partner, one of them, Lynette Den Hollander, and she is an incredible coach. We basically started our businesses, I think, a month difference in timing. But Lynette and I are similar in so many ways, right? We are both go-getters. We are both pushers. You know, we like to push for big goals. We set often unrealistic expectations of ourselves, and we work like hell to reach those things, right? Those are the things we have in common. We're passionate about what we do. But we are also so different in so many ways. Lynette's in her 30s. I'm in my 20s. Lynette is a mother of 5. I am just married with no kids. Lynette is 100% like boho and very into the hippie world and essential oils and all that stuff, which I'm very curious about, especially since I've had her as a friend, but that's not necessarily my market, right? My point here is, guys, that coaches come in all shapes, sizes, forms, personality types. We are all so different, and we all have gifts and a purpose that allow us to work towards helping other people make lasting changes. So do not discount what you have been given, the purpose that has been placed in your heart, the desire and the passion that has been placed in your heart, and the difference that that can make for someone else. So let's talk about 2 big reasons why people fail to live out their purpose. The first, the envy trap. As coaches, it can be tough to find your own voice. You see others succeeding or seeming to succeed, and you begin to feel that you need to be like them or do what they are doing. Wrong. Authenticity always wins. And frankly, to attempt to be someone else is a complete diss to the beautiful talents that you were given to use. So let's talk about these 3 things. Envy denies your uniqueness. When you envy other people, you can't see the amazing value of your own unique shape. I am all about following successful coaches at the beginning of your coaching journey. But as soon as you feel like you are finding your voice and getting more comfortable, guys, my best advice to you is stop doing that. Because you know what? Following all of these other people and comparing yourself and your post to theirs, or what they have to what you don't have, or the Success Club numbers that they're achieving and you're not achieving, all of that starts to stifle your voice, and it starts to make you feel less confident in the job that you are doing. You don't need that. Envy divides your attention because you cannot give your full concentration to becoming what you were intended to do and be if you are also envying others along the way. I mean, I don't think I have anything to say about that because it's just so plain and simple. You choose where to focus your energy. Envy misuses your time and energy. You can either focus on your vision and your mission and your purpose, or you can envy and place the focus on all that you don't have. And here's the thing. If you do that, you will not be happy or content, because having envy in your heart does not allow for those things. So here's tips on fighting envy. Number 1, stop comparing yourself to others. You were not called to be the best in the world. Man, Lynette and I, this one's big for us. You were not called to be the best in the world. You were called to be the best you can be given your background, experiences, opportunities, and abilities. Guys, we all have walked our own unique paths in this world, and our background, our experiences, our opportunities, our abilities, that all informs the people that we are, that all informs the journey that we are going to have as coaches as we embark, right, on this coaching journey. So let's stop worrying about trying to be the best, and let's start trying to focus on being our best. Number 2, celebrate with others. Instead of resenting others, rejoice with them. If you only rely on the good things happening in your life to be happy, it will be a very hard life. Why? Because, guys, not everything we experience in our life is good. So if you can find joy through other people and through other people's successes, you are going to feel so much more fulfilled and so much more joyful as you embark on your journey of life. Number 3, be grateful for who you are and whatever you have. Envy asks, why them? Why do they get what I don't have? Gratitude, which is a whole different mindset, asks, why me? Why do I get all that I have? I love that. I think that is so beautiful. The idea of asking in a way that already establishes an abundance in your life. All right, the second reason that so many people fail to live out their purpose, the people-pleasing trap. And I think this is one that pertains to so many people on our team. Whose approval are you living for? Like, for real, whose approval are you living for? Envy says, I must be like you to be happy. People-pleasing says, I must be liked by you to be happy. Many of us have a fear of rejection, and often that can be such an overwhelming force that we back away from what we know is right. So here's what you guys need to know. No one else's opinion is going to pay your bills. You have a group here that is going to support you no matter what happens. You were made for so much more than worrying about what others think of you. So here is a quote that really spoke to me from The Purpose-Driven Life when I read it December, January. God is always more interested in why you do what you do rather than where or how you do it. You can do all kinds of good work, but if your motive is just to impress others, gain recognition, or avoid their disapproval, you miss the point of doing good. Or avoid their disapproval. I often see coaches quit because they are worried about other people's opinions of what this business is in their life. That should not matter to you if you know what you are doing and the effect that you are having on other people. And I guess this is a good time to share a story. For those of you who, were on my team December, you may already know this. You might know that I was really going through a rough time. So I'm just about to hit my 2-year mark. And in the entire time I have been a coach, I have never felt as hurt, like deeply, deeply hurt and stunned by a comment as I was in December when I received a message it wasn't a message, it was a post. When I was tagged in a very long-winded post by someone who I really respect that went to college with me, that she decided to post on her Facebook page using one of my before and after pictures and a post that I posted. She decided to make me she tried to create her own message and use me and my voice as a platform for her dislike for what people like me doing, even though she has never experienced a challenge group. She has never asked me about what goes on in my groups. She doesn't know the heart and the work that we do beyond exercise and health in the groups. This girl decided to say things essentially like, I think that the only thing important in life is being thin. People like me are the reason why others have eating disorders. I mean, just hurtful things, guys, that of course were going to affect me. And when I tell you that broke me, it took me a few days to recover from that, because I work very closely with a lot of people who struggle with those very issues. And I have always felt that I have been a very loving advocate for people who struggle with that. So it, of course, hurt to feel like my character was being 100% attacked. But what it came down to at the end of the day was, you know what? Am I going to let this one person and her opinion take everything away from me? All the good that I have done, all of the, change that other people have experienced, all of those euphoric moments where people have said, I feel confident in my skin for the first time in my life. I was able to walk into a doctor's office and after being told that I was obese, have them tell me that my metabolic resting heart rate went down to an athlete's. Like, all of these significant, profound moments, these wins that have happened in my 2 years as a coach, was I going to let one person completely discount everything that I had built? No, because I know where my heart is. I know what I'm doing. And what she chose to say about me, about an experience that she knows nothing about, that wasn't wrong of me. That was wrong of her. So what I ask you to remember is you do not need anyone else's permission to live out your vision. You do not need anyone else's permission to live out your mission. You do not need anyone else's permission to live out your purpose, and you certainly do not need anyone else's permission to be happy. You get to choose what makes you happy. You get to choose what you pursue as you are going toward your happiness. You get to choose what your vision looks like, what your mission looks like, and no one else gets a say in that, because this is your life. This is your business. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask each of you for our action steps to write out your vision for your life, guys, and hopefully you started to do that tonight. I'm also going to ask you to write your personal mission statement, and I will be asking for these in our team page, because I think if you can access the reason why you guys are in this and you can remind yourself of that day to day, that is some powerful stuff. And the last thing I'm going to ask you guys to do is to write out 3 qualities in yourself that you're grateful that you possess. It is so easy to look at what everyone else offers and feel inadequate about yourself and what you have to offer. I want us to put that aside as we go through 2017. I want this to be our year of lifting one another up, of empowering one another, of recognizing our own value and greatness and using that to change the freaking world, because we have the opportunity to do that in small ripple effects that turn into waves. One person after the other, after the other, after the other. We have the power to change people's lives, but that cannot happen without you recognizing your worth and your value first. Alrighty, I am going to stop my screen share, and I am going to open this up. If anyone has questions, I know that this is like a lot of very heart-centered, tough stuff that we talked about tonight. But I am hoping that this is setting you guys up for an incredible 2017, because you need to know that I see so much value and worth in every single one of you, and I see so much potential in every single one of you, that going forward, like, this just excites me, being able to tap into that and unlock what's in there, because it's already in there. So I wanted to start the year out talking about this because it's in you guys. We just got to bring it out. I'm going to stop this recording, so none of these questions will be on it.